What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another 5-year rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today we're going to be using the Milwaukee Bucks, obviously led by, in my opinion, the best player in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is going to be a 5-year rebuild where I have hopes for multiple championships. Now, this past season, the Bucks were eliminated in the Eastern Conference semifinals by the Boston Celtics in 7 games. That being said, Chris Middleton was not healthy. Who really knows what would have happened? As a Celtics fan, I like to say they still would have won, but we all probably know that might not have been the case. So, this Bucks team is absolutely insane. Obviously won a championship just the year before, and our goal is to do that a couple more times today. We'll talk about this team as a whole and all they did this offseason once we do get into the video, but real quickly, as we are on the road to 30,000 subscribers, I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet, it does mean a ton to me. It helps out the channel a ton. And as always, comment on other video ideas you want to see down below in the comment section. Any other 5-year rebuilds, whatever it may be, let me know down below. We're kind of in the dog days of the offseason right now before the start of the next season. So, yeah, let me know. But for now, we got this Bucks rebuild, man. I think we got a really nice core. Let's go win a couple championships. So let's go over this Bucks roster real quickly. In my opinion, this is a team, and especially with their additions this offseason, is a team that at a minimum should be in the Eastern Conference Finals. So let's take a look at the roster and how things are currently constructed. Jrue Holiday, who continues to be one of the more underrated players in the league, in my opinion. Unfortunately, he's one of those guys that regresses. If I could keep him here all 5 years, I'd love to. When I just did the offseason, he was like an 85 overall. He's already regressed down to an 82, as you can see, which really does suck because I love the guy a lot. They brought back Jevon Carter on a 2-year deal. He's obviously really, really good when he kind of has to be. I think there are some moments that he can definitely be really, really good. I think he was also really solid in the defensive end for the Bucks when he played in the playoffs. I remember a couple possessions against the Celtics specifically. They got George Hill on this team. He really won't be playing for us. They got Grayson Allen, who I think is a world-class scumbag. I will be trading him immediately as soon as possible after this first season. Marjon Beauchamp, who they drafted in the first round of the 2022 draft, definitely going to be my backup shooting guard because Wesley Matthews regressed all the way down to a 69 overall. They also have Rajon Tucker here, who I believe is on some sort of like 10-day contract or something right now. It's weird. I don't think it's a full contract. But the shooting guard spot's probably the weakest on the floor for us right now, which is unfortunate. Chris Middleton, the second best player on this team. It really does suck. Again, he was injured these past playoffs, especially against the Celtics. He would have helped them out a ton. Hell, they probably would have won the series. But nonetheless, he's going to be here for as long as I can kind of stretch out him being really, really good and worth the money that he is going to be getting paid. Pat Connaughton signed an extension. As you can see, 2K's already on their bullshit, and he's already pissed off, regressing, whatever you want it to be. But yeah, he's going to probably be here for the next 2 to 3 years. Excited to have him. They brought in Joe Ingles this offseason, who can definitely help them out with some shooting. Again, this is not necessarily a bad shooting team, but when you have a guy like Giannis, who maybe his strong suit isn't shooting, although it has improved, definitely never a bad idea to have a veteran guy off the bench who can shoot the basketball. The best player in the world, Giannis Antetokounmpo, will be our starting power forward. Will be here the entirety of this video. I'm very excited to use him in today's game because, yeah, it's not every day I get to do that. His brother Thanas is here as well. Probably really won't play. Bobby Portis Jr. came back to this team. I thought that was a really big bring back for them, a really big extension for him, whatever you really want to call it. He kind of took a little bit of a team-friendly deal last year, I believe, and now that he's back, the man got paid. I'm happy to have him back here in today's rebuild. They got Brook Lopez, who's aging a little bit, can stretch the floor a little bit, can't shoot the ball, or maybe at one point in time could if we needed him. They got Serge Ibaka. They brought him back on a 1-year deal as well. So it's an interesting team. There's obviously a lot of veterans on this team. Our window is absolutely right now. There's not a lot of young talent to progress throughout this 5-year rebuild, but we're going to go ahead and go for it right now. So, as always, I won't be making any trades because this should be relatively what this roster is looking like going into the first year. But again, we're definitely a contender. Let me set the rotation. I'll see you guys before we do start simming year number 1. We're all set here with the rotation at the start of the first season. Really shouldn't be any surprises in the starting 5. Jrue Holiday, Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Bobby Portis Jr. Really solid starting 5, probably top 2 in the entirety of the Eastern Conference. If you want to put the Celtics over them, you can. I'm not getting into that debate right now. The bench unit's got Pat Connaughton as the 6th man here. Thought about starting him at the 2-guard spot. I prefer him coming off the bench. I don't think we need the amount of firepower he really can bring in the starting 5. I mean, maybe playoff time, it would benefit them, but we're fine for now. Brook Lopez will be our backup center, followed by Jevon Carter and then Marjon Beauchamp as well. I'm playing the rookie as the backup shooting guard for a couple reasons. One, I want to progress the little bit of young talent we do have on this team. And 2, as you can see, Wesley Matthews is legitimately a 69 overall. So we're pretty screwed at the backup 2-guard spot besides that. But, maybe at some point somebody like Joe Ingles could get into the rotation or Ibaka. I mean, in real life, they definitely probably both will be playing minutes. Unfortunately for me here in the game, a 9-man rotation is probably what's going to work best. So that's what I'm comfortable with. If something's not working, maybe by the deadline, we'll switch some things up. Of course, I'll show you guys that. But as of now, this is how it's going to look. We should definitely be close to the top of the East. I'll see you guys at the end of the first year. It was an interesting first year, to say the least. Giannis wins another MVP award, but we are a 5 seed here in the East, which I felt is a little bit low, and honestly, not where I was really expecting to be. We are the number 8 in the power rankings, but I don't know. 5 seed feels weird for a team that is this talented and led by the MVP. But Giannis, absolutely insane year. Super happy to have him on my team here today. Chet Holmgren, your Rookie of the Year. Pretty much happens every video. Trae Young, 6th man, because this game does not know how to play those two, him and DeJounte next to each other. Giannis, I believe this is his 2nd Defensive Player of the Year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it is. Correct? Yes, it is. It's his 2nd Defensive Player of the Year. Nick Claxton, Most Improved. Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year. They are pretty good there in Philadelphia, I guess. All right, let's take a look at the standings. 48 and 34. This isn't even a 50-win team according to 2K. What in the what? What? Oh, there's just yeah, I don't get that one. Congrats. Giannis leads us in points, and it was Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis Jr., Drew Holiday taking a little bit of a step back. It ultimately really does suck to see. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not expecting like prime like 2018 Drew Holiday, but like the regression this hard when he's 32 years old and probably still one of the better defenders in the entirety of the NBA is really unfortunate to see, but we'll address that once we do get to the offseason. As of now, he is here and he is a Buck. We got the Atlanta Hawks, so a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals from just 2 seasons ago. It's going to be DeJounte Murray, Kevin Herter. They got Trae Young coming off the bench. I just cannot get over it, how dumb that looks. If I honestly probably will at some point in time go in and honestly adjust it so they're like one that's a shooting guard, one's a point guard, but we'll see. First round did not go well. We lost in 5 games to the Atlanta Hawks. So Timberwolves go on to win the finals, and D'Angelo Russell, what in the world is going on? Again, I think the Timberwolves can definitely be a lot more competitive this year. I don't necessarily consider them a contender, if I'm being honest with you, but between the Kings being the 1 seed, D'Angelo Russell winning finals MVP, that might go down as the weirdest first year in a 5-year rebuild that I have had in a very, very long time. But that was a very putrid year, very disappointing season, for lack of a better term. We're going to try to improve that this offseason. If I do have any Bucks fans watching, the moves I'm going to make are not what I actually think you should do with your team. This is unrealistic. It's basically what I have to do because of how 2K and their regression system works. Pacers, Bulls, Pistons, Spurs, and Rockets is your top 5 of the lottery. I think Mike Budenholzer is an absolute idiot, but I will give him one more season here at the helm as our head coach. So let's check out the draft. Do we have our first round pick? We do not. We have 2 seconds. I don't need 2 second-round picks. I don't. I never draft anybody that's really that good there. So Chris Middleton accepts. Rajon Tucker, I can probably get a pick for. Again, unrealistic rebuild. I don't really think anybody's going to be questioning that move right there. So we enter a free agency where we got a couple free agents. I might bring back Thanasis, just, I don't know, like the system match on this is absolutely crazy. Like, I'd like to see what Giannis's is. That being said, I do probably need a new backup center. Brook Lopez now 35 years old, Serge Ibaka 33. Probably going to go ahead and move on from those two again. I thank them for what they did here, but I'm ready to move on. So let's make some trades. I've decided that I'm going to piss off a lot of Bucks fans today. And honestly, I'll say I'm sorry, but if it gets you another championship in the game, I don't think you'll be too upset. I'm trading Drew Holiday for Alperen Şengün, who's coming off a really solid sophomore year of 12.5 points, 7 boards, 2.5 assists, 47% from the field, 32% from beyond the arc. He's going to be our new starting center, which means Bobby Portis is now ultimately able to be moved. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in and try to play around with Pat Connaughton's, like, whatever the hell it is, like, it's just like shot tendency or something like that. Let me play around with that, but there's definitely more trades coming. This is what the trade's going to look like. Bobby Portis Jr. and Chris Middleton for Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. Again, I really do apologize, Bucks fans. I know I'm trading all of your favorite players and all of the players that help contribute to you guys winning a championship. Again, I'm sure a lot of you know why I do this and why I'm not really explaining a ton to you, but basically regression on Middleton's going to happen, and we just got a new center for with Şengün, who's a lot younger. So Michael Porter Jr., a lot younger, is on a decently long contract. We're also probably just going to be straight up trading Aaron Gordon for a new starting point guard because Javon Carter's just not going to cut it for me at this point. So yeah, still not done making trades. So I'm nervous about doing this trade, but ultimately decided that we are going to do it, and let me explain to you why I'm going to be pulling the trigger on this trade. Jordan Poole is going to be the nice young point guard that we're going to get here. Coming off a pretty solid season where I don't even know if he started, but he only played 27 minutes a game. I'm really happy having him here. At this point in time in the game, he's an upgrade over Drew Holiday, and obviously we moved on from him anyways. We're getting Draymond Green, but this was the trade, proposal. This was the offer that they sent us back because I tried to do just Aaron Gordon in the first. They wanted Pat Connaughton. I'm hesitant to include him, but he seemed to be unhappy. I tried to play with his tendencies. It was not happening. So Draymond Green and Jordan Poole, welcome here to Milwaukee. Draymond's not staying. Do not worry. I am not keeping Draymond on this team. That's definitely not happening. So Probably one more big trade in the books. Again, I know this has been a busy offseason. And our final trade here is going to be Draymond Green, Grayson Allen, a first-round pick in 2027, and Rajon Tucker to the Bulls for Kobe White and Alex Caruso. So that's a pretty good trade in my opinion. They signed Kobe White to an extension. Honestly, probably had the best year of his career last year. He's going to be our new starting shooting guard. We also get Alex Caruso, who's definitely going to help with some defense off of the bench for us here in Milwaukee. So that was a lot of moves. That was a lot to unpack. I am sorry about that, but I think all of the moves that we just made are going to help us in the long run. I think we definitely got a little bit younger as well. So overall, some dubs in my opinion. I think the easiest way to do these kind of rebuilds with teams like this that are kind of built like this or pre-built like this ultimately is to kind of just cut your losses early, and this team just seems like it was really not having it. So I know I hyped up Javon Carter a little bit at the beginning of the video. We have bigger needs now, though, so I either need a backup small forward or a backup center for him. We also, yes, I know I basically just blew out all the depth we have on this team. So we're going to go ahead and try to rebuild that now, I guess, for the rest of the video. Udoka Azubuike, is he a free agent after this year? Yes, he is. I prefer somebody with a little bit more team control, but I'm not really... Ooh, Tristan Koloko. Did he play at all? It doesn't really look like he's played it at all. He hasn't, so he's a 73 overall. Vernon Carey Jr. also really hasn't played and is also a free agent. All right, you know what? Javon Carter is going to be a free agent anyways, so we're just going to get Azubuike. We have to throw in a second-round pick and a trade exception, but that's not a bad backup center at all, and he's already pissed off. God, I love this game. So we'll now sign a backup small forward. It's not going to be anybody great, unfortunately, but we can probably live with whoever this is going to be for at least a season here in Milwaukee. So, like, honestly, somebody like Kenrich Williams, that's fine by me. Let's bring him in here. Welcome to the team. I will bring back Thanasis as well, hopefully if the game allows me to. Brook Lopez is going to go. But Kenrich Williams, not a bad option for our backup small forward spot. And then I'll bring back Thanasis just to please Giannis. I don't know. Maybe that'll solve my relationship with the Bucks fans that are watching this video. But, yeah, interesting team. It's obviously looking a lot different from last season, but I'm excited. It's going to be a new beginning for this team in Milwaukee. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. So we basically blew it up in the offseason. We kind of cut some of the dead weight on this team, the guys that were going to continue to regress or were going to be free agents this offseason that I really didn't want to give a ton of money to, and we kind of turned it into this. It's an experimental year. Who knows what's going to happen, but the good thing is we should have a decent amount of flexibility with this team now moving forward, because we really don't have a lot of picks, so we kind of have to make this work at this point. So it's going to be Jordan Poole, Kobe White, Michael Porter Jr., Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Alperen Şengün as our starting 5 here for year number 2 in Milwaukee. Our bench is kind of bad, if we're being honest. Caruso is going to be the 6th man here. Hopefully can provide some good defense off the bench. Azubuike, Kenrich Williams, and Marjon Beauchamp. So this is going to be interesting. This team as a general whole is still a very much work in progress, but I'd like to be better than a 5 seed. It really could not have been worse with the way this team was last year, though. So I'll see you guys at the end of the second year here in Milwaukee. Another somewhat disappointing season. So, you know, by the end of this video, if I don't turn it around and get you another championships, Bucks fans, you can let me have it in the comment section. But we're still a 5 seed here in the East. We've dropped to 11 in the power rankings. Luka MVP averages triple-double. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. Indiana, Trae Young. You can ignore that. Giannis wins his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year. Chet Holmgren, Most Improved. Nate McMillan is your Coach of the Year. So let's take a look at the standings real quick. We go 47-35, so a game worse than last season. Again, I don't really know what it is about this team. Like, I feel like the talent is kind of here. It's just something's not working. Maybe it's the bench unit. I don't really know. Maybe I need a little bit more defense in that starting lineup. But, yeah, we will see. We'll address that in the offseason. We got Philadelphia here in round number 1. D'Anthony Melton, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. They got James Harden coming off the bench with Miles Turner. Interesting rotation you got going on there. I do not see a way that James Harden comes off the bench in Philadelphia, but good for you. We're up 3-2, and we win in 6. Moving on to the, I believe, no, did they win the finals last year? No. I'm sorry. Who won the finals last year? Who? Oh, my God. It's going to kill me. I'm forgetting already. Who was it? Who won the finals last year? This is going to piss me off, because I feel like I just remember. Was it a West team? Yeah, it was the Timberwolves, because I remember D'Lo in Finals MVP. Thank the Lord. This is a very good team. We obviously have to deal with probably the best backcourt in the Eastern Conference with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. Hell, one of them's coming off the bench. So, God bless this game, man. We're down 3-1 right now. We win a game. We lose in 6. Disappointing, to say the least. We lost to the the inevitable I cannot fucking speak today. The inevitable NBA champions here in the Atlanta Hawks, and Trae Young wins MVP as the 6th man of the Atlanta Hawks. So, yeah, another not-so-good season. At least we won a playoff matchup, though. I guess that's progress, but not really the progress I was hoping for. Oh, good. The Pelicans needed another number 1 overall pick. That's exactly what they needed right there. Sweet. Awesome. All right, let's advance right now. I'm done with Bullnozer. Goodbye. Good riddance. Stauffer, please carry me to the promised land. I need you at this point. Let's head up to the draft. I traded all of our first-round picks, so we definitely don't have any picks. Yeah, we don't even anyways. So it kind of sucks a little bit. I'm going to bring back Caruso. He's on the older side at this point, so might look to trade him as well. Azubuike is going to get that qualifying offer. Really wasn't a bad backup center option at all. It was honestly our 7th man off the bench, I think, as well. So could definitely use him, could definitely bring him back. The good thing about this team, and that's something I can confidently say, is that we have everybody basically locked up. So that's really, really good for us. This is Şengün's final year, so he's something we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. But as of now, there's really not a big move that we can really make with this team. At least I don't think so. Maybe could look into exploring a Kobe White trade potentially, but he didn't even play bad for us. Jordan Poole was super solid as well. Porter Jr. was our 2nd best player far and away. So there's really not a ton for me to do with this team right now, but let's see what I come up with. We're going to make this trade here with the Bulls. We're going to send Alex Caruso back. We're going to straight up get Dalen Terry. So you might be asking me, why are you getting a guy who's 3 overalls lower when you basically have a championship contending team, or what you want to be a championship contending team? And the reason I'm doing that is because we have a little bit more flexibility. He's 8 years younger. He's making less money, and he has another year of team control. So the unfortunate thing is, and the kind of downside to this, is he's obviously much worse. I mean, the man hasn't even played a goddamn minute yet. So it's definitely a big risk for a backup point guard. That being said, hopefully with a little bit of progression and probably playing Jordan Poole a few more minutes. And why is MPJ now pissed off? Good God, man. I cannot catch a fucking break in this game. I really cannot. Yeah, Kendrick Williams, I might also look to explore a potential trade just because he's an expiring contract. Maybe if I could potentially get somebody on a multi-year deal, I'd be willing to do that. Or maybe might just go ahead and take a pick, if I'm being honest. Jalen Johnson really hasn't played as well, or also expiring. Everybody's expiring, man. It really is unfortunate. Harrison Barnes, you know what? Let's add Harrison Barnes. A little bit of a veteran presence. We get 3 years older, but I think we get a better player, and I'm actually pretty comfortable making that trade. So Harrison Barnes did to come in. MPJ still pissed off for whatever reason. God, this fucking game. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring back Azubuike. I'll bring back Thanasis as well. But Azubuike will come back once we get through the moratorium phase, so I can go ahead and I can give him a real contract. So Thanasis comes back. Me, Oni, and Vlado Kankar are not coming back. No, okay, I did not renounce Azubuike. I wanted to make sure I didn't do that. So again, kind of a low-key, kind of a subtle, boring offseason, and I am sorry about that, but it's kind of the way this team is built right now, and the moves that we have made kind of restrict us a little bit. So hopefully by we're getting some more picks that we get to play with, we can maybe make some moves next offseason, but as of now, kind of running it back. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd year here in Milwaukee. We didn't make a ton of big changes this offseason with this team, but hopefully with a new head coach at the Realm, along with some progression, this team can be higher than a 5 seed and potentially be competing for a championship. You might go ahead and call me crazy for thinking that after the way this team's kind of played the past 2 years, but I'm confident nonetheless. It's going to be Jordan Poole, Kobe White, Michael Porter Jr., Giannis Antetokounmpo, Alperen Şengün here as the starting 5. The bench unit continues to not be too good. It's something we're going to have to work on. I'm giving Marjan Beauchamp the 6-man role. Hopefully he can kind of take that next step because he's basically the one younger piece, as a bouquet as well, but we have Dalen Terry as well, but kind of the young piece off the bench that I'm kind of confident in. So he's going to take the 6-man role, the keys to the kingdom, if you will. And yeah, we're putting all our eggs in the basket here. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. I hate to say it, I really do. And honestly, I kind of screwed up this rebuild at this point, I'm starting to think. But we suck. We are not very good at all. So we don't have our first round pick. I'm trading Alperen Şengün for Khem Birch. And our first round pick, we're getting it back. We're currently a 13 seed, and I don't know what's wrong with this team. I'm going to make some major moves this offseason. But yeah, let's see what our record is right now and how things stand. We are currently 18-22. Not too good. So we made the trade. I'm calling this season just a big fat L. We're going to have 2 seasons to hopefully turn things around, 2 off seasons anyways. But we're calling this season a big L. I'm going to reset the rotation. We're going to hopefully have a high draft pick. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. It was a big fat failure of a season. You can hand me my L's in the comments section, unless you're confident in me in turning this around in 2 off seasons and getting a championship. But we will see. We are a 13 seed here in the East, so we sucked. I tried to tank. We traded Şengün, which kind of also sucks. So we're in the market for a starting center. We'll address that this offseason. Luka averages nearly a 40-point triple-double. I mean, the dick eating of Luka Doncic in this game, and Zion Williamson as well, is absolutely insane. I mean, dial it the fuck down, 2K, for 2K23. It's ridiculous. Luka's insane. He's probably going to win at least one, probably more MVPs throughout his career, but a 40-point triple-double is the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. Let's calm down. Mikey Williams, Rookie of the Year. Andre Drummond, 6-man. Giannis Defensive Player of the Year, which is third year in a row. Adrian Griffin Jr., Most Improved. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Surprised Stafford didn't get it here. I don't really even want to look at the standings and see what our record was. 34 and 48, so we should be in relatively, what is that, like the 8th overall pick spot or right around there, but again, we'll make a move with that. Giannis was solid as well, MPJ. Kobe White, Jordan Poole, Beauchamp, yeah, it's just not so good of a list right now. So let's sim this. Honestly, I'm almost happier we're not in the playoffs than being a 5 seed, just because I think it gives us a lot more flexibility for the offseason when this team's not necessarily contending anymore. So I believe Giannis is also a free agent, so that's something that's going to have to be, keep an eye on that. So we're actually projected the 7th overall pick right now, so I was one off. Let's see if we maybe get a little bit lucky today with 2K. That's what I needed. That's how you save my ass, 2K. We end up with the number 1 overall pick. That's exactly what I needed. Stafford's fine. I kind of screwed him with the way this roster was built. But, yeah, I'm pumped with this. That was such a big and such a needed move. Who is this draft class? Isaiah Loheim. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look up a 2025 mock draft, see who's supposed to be at the top versus who's at the top here. Yes, I know. I thank you all for your comments all the time. I know these are here. I do. They're just not always accurate. So I do appreciate all your comments, though. Let me look up a mock draft. So I'm looking up the mock draft right now. It appears that somebody named Nasir Cunningham is currently projected as the number 1 overall pick. I don't even know if he's here. Excuse me. Is he even here? I don't even see him on this list. So I'm not seeing him, and number 2 on this list is Isaiah Loheim, who is here. So I'm probably going to go with him. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this pick. I think it's the smart pick. We get a little bit younger as well, and hopefully a guy that can kind of help Giannis a little bit carry this team to the promised land. He's going to be an 80 overall. I think I'm actually going to move him to the shooting guard spot because I'm very comfortable with him starting there, and then Kobe White's probably going to go ahead and get traded for some sort of center because that's something we're definitely lacking right now. So I'm very happy with that move. We're going to go ahead and move Kobe White now. He did not play bad for us at all. He's an expiring contract after this season. I'm also going to get rid of Harrison Barnes. And a 2nd-round pick. Give me a center of some sort. Somebody who's serviceable enough. Could go Bronny James. That'd be funny. Christian Wood. It's honestly not horrible. He's actually been playing pretty well. I'm interested in that. Let me figure out what I'm going to do. I'm indecisive right now. This is the trade we are going to be doing. Kobe White and Kaheem Birch for Robert Williams and a 1st-round pick. Now, this solves our center spot issue. Again, I considered making the trade over there for Christian Wood. I think the defense with Robert Williams and Giannis in the front court is going to be scary. That being said, the shooting and the floor spacing is going to be pretty brutal. But I'm going to risk it because I think Robert Williams is on a really good contract, and that 1st-round pick could be valuable as well. You never really know what happens in this game. So our starting 5 is figured out. I'm very happy with the way this starting 5 is currently built. Obviously, we didn't need Birch when we do have Azubuike as our backup center. We're also probably going to make some other trades. Team player options, Giannis declined, so he's obviously somebody we greatly need to focus on bringing back to this team because, yeah, if he goes anywhere, we are pretty much screwed. So we're going to max him out, give him a full max contract. Wow, holy shit. I can give him a lot of money. All right, 216 over 4 is what Portland's giving him right now. So that's $54 million. That definitely has a player option on it, doesn't it? No, it has no option. How do you have the money to give him that? All right, well, I'm going to make sure that I give him, that's as much as lets me give. I'm just going to give him the goddamn money because I just can't risk losing him at this point. But holy shit, how did Portland give him that much? That's crazy. Like, this is more realistic than Nuggets offer. That's crazy. All right, he's our only main free agent. I don't really care if his brother goes at this point. I'm kind of fine with him being gone. Isaiah Levers can go as well. But Giannis is back. Obviously, we would have been, for lack of a better term, royally fucked if he was to go somewhere else. So happy to get, probably at this point, the best player in the history of the franchise. I know Kareem was here as well. But well, yeah, I'm not getting into that debate, but I'm very happy with it. Ultimately, we made a couple smaller end moves, but I still think this team can get better. And honestly, I'm going to roll the dice with it again. I am going to trade Harrison Barnes. He's expiring, and I think he's a little bit too old at this point in time, just the way things regress here in 2K. So let me look either for, actually, you know what? I'm going to take a first-round pick. I'm going to play it smart. I'm going to take a Lakers first-round pick, and I'm just going to sign somebody like a Chetty Osman who can hopefully provide at least a little bit of shooting to this squad here because Lord knows we need it with this front court. So I'm happy with this team right now. I think, again, not saying we're going to be contenders this year, but I think we've definitely taken a step in the right direction. So I'll see you guys at the start of the 4th season here in Milwaukee. Start of year number 4 here in Milwaukee. We obviously ended up tanking last season. We decided we wanted it to be a bad year, and it worked out for us as we were able to get really lucky in the draft lottery, potentially saving this video. We took Isaiah Loheim with the #1 overall pick. He's going to be our starting shooting guard. Him and Jordan Poole, their new backcourt. Michael Porter Jr. and Giannis still the small forward, power forward, and then Robert Williams, also a new addition here. Really excited to have him. The shooting in this front court and the spacing on this team really does scare me a little bit, but hopefully it works out. Marjon Beauchamp's also really not too good of a shooter. I don't believe. What's his three-point shot? I don't believe he's known for his shooting at all. He's got a C three-point shooting. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully he can help off the bench a little bit along with Osman and Terry. Osman's a B+, and Terry's a B+ as well. So let's hopefully reset some things as we did. Let's hope this works out a little bit better than it has in previous seasons. Year number 4, let's make it a good one. I'll see you guys at the end of it. We are back here in the playoffs. It's a very good feeling after a really, really bad season where I kind of realized I kind of screwed up the rebuild at this point. Not often I can kind of realize that. So I am fully admitting I screwed up the rebuild to this point, but hopefully things turn around here in the playoffs. We're a 3 seed here in the East, number 5 in the power rankings. LaMelo, first-time MVP. Congratulations. Damian Dudley, Rookie of the Year. Isaiah Loheim would have been cool, but he does have a lot of talent around him. DJ Wagner, 6th Man of the Year in OKC. Giannis just does not stop winning Defensive Player of the Years. Ben Mathurin at Most Improved. Derek Barry. Wow, I've never seen you as a head coach. You are the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. Congratulations. All right, let's check the standings. We go 55-27, so far and away our best record yet. We are 3 games out of the 1 seed here in the East. I'm very fine with that, very happy with that. Giannis, Michael Porter Jr., Isaiah Loheim, really solid rookie campaign. Jordan Poole, Rob Williams, Beauchamp, Chetty Osman, Dalen Terry, Azubuike. Got, who's that down there? Reed? Devon Reed down there as well. Rebounds was Giannis, and assists was also Giannis. So we got a first-round matchup here with the Toronto Raptors. Not my favorite team to play. Oh, they added DeJounte Murray. Oh, because obviously. And OG Anunoby, DiVincenzo, Scotty Barnes, Siakam, Van Vliet, Jackson Hayes, Lou Dort. Fuck. I mean, come on, man. You know what's really killing me here? I think it's a lot of the benches. I mean, obviously we have the best player in the series no matter basically who we play. But the depth some of these teams have terrifies me. You added, wow, that's interesting. Simmons, Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, Amen Thompson, Josh Christopher, Karis LeVert. You have a 78 overall as your 10th man. Good God, bro. That's terrifying. We're down 2-1. We tied up at 2 games apiece. We go down 3-2. We're losing 6. Oh, fuck. Thunder go on to win the finals. Chet Holmgren finals MVP. All right, this is the final offseason, and if I'm being honest with you, I think I'm going to focus on improving the bench. I do not believe we're going to have a lottery pick of any sort. Oh, my God, that Boston pick. Oh, fuck. It was protected of some sort. That really sucks. It ended up at number 2. God, I wish it was unprotected. But we do have their pick next year, which means it's going to be valuable in a trade potentially. God, that would have been such a huge spot for us to have a pick like that. We do have 14 and 20 in round number 2. I just don't need them. So that would have been a really cool moment to have. It would have been number 1. Oh, wow. Yes, bringing him back. Would have been number 1 in the past season, number 2 overall this year. Would have been nice, but unfortunately, no. Beauchamp and Dalen Terry both getting the qualifying offers. They're really not the problem off the bench for me. So this is a free agency class that Robert Williams is in, and he's definitely somebody we do need to bring back. I am going to go ahead and give Beauchamp and Dalen Terry the qualifying just because we look like we're close to over the hard cap. So, yeah, we're going to do that. Wigington can go. Moses Wright can go. And Harrison Barnes is a trade. Is this a trade exception? No, it's not. All right. Did Robert Williams accept that? He did. So that's cool. Getting all 3 of those guys is obviously getting them back is huge, no matter which way you kind of spin it. But that being said, I still think this team needs to make some upgrades. I really do. So we might either pull the trigger on a smallish trade or we might try to go all out and make a really big trade. I'll show you guys whatever we do. Call me crazy, but I'm making the move. I'm trading Isaiah Loheim and Udoka Azubuike. I do not know how projected of a generational prospect or how good this dude's even supposed to be. If somebody in the comment section knows, let me know. But the reason I'm doing this is because we're only in year number 2. He had a really good rookie campaign, but ultimately a clear upgrade here in Jaylen Brown. I mean, there's really no spinning that a different way. So we're going to go ahead and pick up Jaylen Brown. We're going to slide him to the shooting guard spot. And hopefully that is enough to lead us to a championship. I think it's going to be, Jaylen Brown is a significant upgrade at this point in time over Isaiah Loheim. So, welcome to the team, JB. You are going to be kind of the final piece here. So, we got 2 Celtic starters on this squad. We do need to find a new backup center at this point, but other than that, who's Luther Lowry? Who the fuck are you? I don't even know. Like, let me sign somebody. Ooh, like, let me sign a Karis. Actually, low-key, I don't really need Karis LeVert. Unless I want to move him maybe to, like, the backup small forward spot. Trade Chetty Osman. LeVert's 31. Who would I prefer? Like 6 points, 8 points. He shot 46% from 3 last year. All right, let me keep Chetty or Karis LeVert. I think he's a better player overall. So Chetty Osman's now going to go ahead and get traded for some sort of center. This Celtics pick I didn't even really end up using. You know what? I might glance around at some trade offers with that Celtics pick potentially. Let me get a backup center for it. Actually, no, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna find something. This is what I was talking about. I didn't want to trade Jordan Poole, but DeJounte Murray popped up, and he's far and away more impactful than Jordan Poole is. I'm sorry if you disagree with that statement, but in my opinion, it's 100% a fact. So we're giving them 2 unprotected picks from the Celtics, which if this wasn't the final year of the rebuild, I'd be really nervous doing. But yeah, DeJounte Murray and Jaylen Brown going to be the new backcourt. Huge upgrades there. I'm super pumped about it. So we still need a backup center. I think this Roy Bishop dude, whoever you were the 18th overall pick. You have barely even played. So let me do another first and another first for hopefully some sort of backup center here. Jamal Howard was just drafted 20th overall. I'd prefer not having a rookie. Casey Flores drafted the year prior. Who are the free agent options here that I could potentially sign and include in a deal? Let me sign Grayson Allen. I'll throw Grayson Allen in a deal. Good God, I am really going to the end of the earth right now to make this team hopefully a contender in, I don't want to say one season because we've had way longer than that to kind of turn this team around, but ultimately we really should have been a lot better at this point. Wow, that Lakers pick's super valuable as well. 14 trade offers here. Brendan Bailey. Oh, great. You're a decent overall. You're just not very good, if we're being honest. John Butler is 7'1", and he looks like he's an absolute stud. He's going to be moved to our backup center spot. He will back up Rob Williams, and we are basically all set at this point. This team has made a lot of changes throughout this rebuild. I think we are hopefully contenders now, finally. I'll see you guys at the start of the 5th and final season. We've made a ton of changes to this team. This is far and away our best team yet. I really don't know how you can look at the teams we've had the past 4 seasons and argue that when this squad is looking like this. So DeJounte Murray, Jaylen Brown, Michael Porter Jr., Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Robert Williams. The bench unit, Karis LeVert, John Butler, Marjon Beauchamp, and Dalen Terry. We've improved the bench. We've improved the starting 5, hopefully improving our record, and hopefully improving our titles. I'll see you guys at the end of the 5th and final year here in Milwaukee. Second straight season of LaMelo Ball being an MVP. We're up to a 2 seed here in the East, which is really good to see. I would have liked to have been a 1 seed. I'll still take it. Darren Matthews, Rookie of the Year, probably 15 years old right now in real life. Monty Bates, 6th Man of the Year. This dude, I don't even know what happened to him. Giannis wins his what? Is this his 5th Defensive Player of the Year of this video? I'm like starting to think it really might be. Yeah, it's his 5th Defensive Player of the Year of this video. The dude's nuts. Amen Thompson, most improved in Detroit. Derek Barry. Wow. Who was he the head coach of? The Hornets, I believe? Yeah, goddamn. What is their starting 5? I really want to see that. It is LaMelo, Bouknight, Sohan, Portland. Real 60? Okay, never mind. Their depth is crazy, but I don't know, man. Oh, well, we actually tied them in the record department. All right, let's take a look at the numbers on the year. It was Giannis, Jaylen Brown, Porter Jr., DeJounte Murray, Karis LeVert, Rob Williams, Butler, Marjon Beauchamp, Dalen Terry. You got Gabe Vincent down there. Rebounds, Giannis, assists, DeJounte Murray. All right, I'm excited with this team right now. I think the potential is all there. We got Orlando here in round number 1. Good team. We should sweep them. Let's be honest with ourselves right now, which we do. Detroit here in round number 2. I believe this is the squad that beat us last year. They added Ben Simmons, Amen Thompson's here now. That's a good team. It honestly kind of scares me. Teams that have depth scare the shit out of me in my rebuilds because I really don't rebuild for depth all the time. We do win the series, though, and now we got to face Charlotte, who LaMelo Ball, 2-time MVP. I'd still say far and away, though, there's no way LaMelo is better than Giannis. There's just not. But they might have the better team. This is a fun blow-to-blow matchup. We're up 3-1 here, and we win in 5. And we're taking on Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies here in the NBA Finals. They have quite the squad as well. Let's see what happens. We lose game 1. We win at game 2. We win game 3. We win game 4. And please tell me we're going to win a championship today because I'm going to feel, honestly, this, no matter what, okay, really, this is not the way I kind of wanted this game to go. Battling back a little bit. I think it's too little too late, though. Yeah, it is. All right, so no matter what happens here, even if we do win a championship, which hopefully we can control this lead, really. Oh, we're not serious right now, are we? This is a very low-scoring game. I will get a little bit of gameplay, though, but no matter what, this kind of feels like a failed rebuild. We're up 9 here in Memphis as we try to close out just our first championship of this rebuild, and honestly, it feels kind of weird. The past 2 videos, I've had a 4-peat, and I've had 2 really, really good teams, so it's weird with a situation like this in Milwaukee. They're obviously contenders right now. Hell, they could even be favorites in the East. I know the Celtics are technically the favorites to win the finals right now in the entirety of the NBA, but I don't know, man. Something about this Bucks team just feels like they're going to have a really good season again. I think Giannis is going to be back in the finals, if I'm being honest with you, as much as I'd love for my Celtics to be. But nonetheless, this rebuild to me really wasn't as much of a success as the potential was really there to be. And that sucks to say because obviously I love it when my rebuilds go to plan and, you know, I'm winning multiple championships throughout them. Unfortunately, they just don't all go like that. So I made a couple questionable moves early in this video by moving on from Middleton, moving on from a guy like Drew Holiday, along with Connaughton, and who else did I trade? I traded Bobby Portis even. So I kind of just blew this team right up. And honestly, although be it ended up kind of being the right move with the way the things kind of went and we won a championship, I don't know if it was the right move at that point. I maybe could have given it another year. But, you know, we live and we learn. And ultimately, I think as a rebuilder, I'm still learning, even though I've obviously done well over probably 1,000 of these at this point, just on video. I've done way more than that in my life in general. So, oh, it's a shooting foul. We're going 3-3-4. So, for those of you guys who, you know, enjoy when I go all out every rebuild and win multiple championships, I'm sorry that this couldn't be one of them for you. I hope I still made a fun enough team for you and you guys still enjoyed the video. But nonetheless, we'll now talk about what I do in every single 5-year rebuild. The thought and the state of the team that I'm rebuilding, that being the Milwaukee Bucks. I just gave you my thought of fully healthy Chris Middleton, which I love watching Chris Middleton ball out, even though he's just known for torching my Celtics. There's like a list of guys in the league who just torch the Celtics. I'm sure every team has one of those like lists of players that just always play super well against you for no reason. Chris Middleton's on that list for the Celtics. He always steps his game up for some reason. And that's not a shot saying he's not a good player, because he really is. But, oh, Rob Williams, you got to be there. But if I'm being honest with you, Chris Middleton definitely steps up. And I'm excited to see him kind of back in action, hopefully. I think that's a very different, probably, playoff series if he's just in there in general against Celtics. But, you know, he wasn't. And, oh, wow, Giannis gets the 3 to go. It almost has a triple-double. It's a very different series. So hopefully he can stay healthy. Hopefully Drew Holiday can continue to play at a high level. I mean, it's a really good Bucks team. And honestly, as a Celtics fan, I'm scared of them. I still didn't even know how we beat them this year without Chris Middleton. So it's going to be a fun playoff matchup to watch. Again, I think nobody can really argue that the Celtics and the Bucks are probably the 2 best teams in the East. I mean, you can maybe throw the Heat in there. I know they were just in the Eastern Conference Finals, and maybe Heat fans get upset about that, but I don't know. I still have the Bucks over the Miami Heat, if I'm being honest with you. Just my opinion, though. You're more than welcome to disagree. But we'll do one final possession here because I do not want to sit through the trophy ceremony as we are up 15 here. I just jumped. That was really dumb. We're up 15 here in Game 6, and we are going to be closing out our first championship of this video. Thankfully that we did win one. So, Giannis, can we just go dunk on somebody, please? Giannis gets the foul. I will see you guys with the Finals MVP. We go on to win our first championship of today's video. It's bittersweet one because I think we should have won probably at least 2 or 3 in today's video. Nonetheless, we still get a good one, and we still get a really fun team here today. So I had fun with this one. It was a different way of doing a rebuild with a team that was really good. I turned a really good team into a team that really kind of sucked, and then again into a really good team. So this one was still fun. It was a whirlwind of emotions for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one as well. Again, a very different approach, but a really good result at the end. So let me know, as always, any other video ideas you guys want to see down below in the comment section. Of course, if you guys have not yet, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 30K. I'd like to hit it by the end of August. It would be really cool to me and mean really a lot to me. So I thank you guys a ton for that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.